Hello, hello. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at all kinds of news that we get a hold of. News from our city, from our state, Jalisco, from our country, Mexico. We get a hold of the wonderful information that you share with us through your comments, ideas, and suggestions, and we combine it all so we can have a most wonderful time connecting with one another and connecting with our city of choice, Puerto Vallarta, as a community of English-speaking locals. Yes, Catherine, it is definitely an iced coffee kind of morning. It's so funny to read this comment from you today because yesterday I spent the whole afternoon putting finishing touches to the Guadalajara presentation this afternoon that we're going to share this afternoon, and I forgot to set up my iced coffee, which needs to be set up 12 hours before I drink it. So I get up this morning and I'm like, oh my God, I have no iced coffee. So I'm drinking hot coffee again, and I can feel it. I really wish I wasn't. Anyhow, it's a pleasure to see you today. It's Saturday, May 28th. What Saturday will be good today? Let's try Bay City Rollers. And we have all kinds of interesting news to share with you. We have a couple of bits of news that have context attached to them, so I'll get a little chatty today. But we have important news as well. We have some fun news, and we have a new guest in town. Well, not in town, but we're going to introduce the very first tropical storm of the season. She finally is coming. I'll cut to the chase. She's not coming to our state, but we have one, and it is here. And as long as we are clapping, today is, good morning, Karen. Today is Bob Christensen's birthday. Happy birthday. Anyhow, if you are new to the broadcast and would like to let us know, just write the word new in your comments. We'll give you a nice little welcome. And if you have something truly important to share, please do so with a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. Let's get the show on the road. Okay, to start, the state of Jalisco has received a lot of, or a batch, or a shipment of Pfizer booster shots that will be made available for folks 18 years of age and older that received their last vaccine over 4 months ago. No specific dates have been announced as to when these vaccines will be available in our city, but we will keep you posted in case you are due for a boost. Thinking out loud, I've already received a booster shot, and I'm sure that many of you have as well. So I wonder if this means that we can get a second one. So I suppose it is time to start some research going on. SEAPAL has announced that due to some rehabilitation work done in Emiliano Zapata, Basilio Vadillo Street will be closed to traffic this coming Monday, starting between Pino Suarez and Ignacio Vallarta, and eventually continuing all the way towards Insurgentes Street. This is a very popular street, and lots of traffic goes through it, so this is an important piece of news. No information has been provided as to how long the street will remain closed, unfortunately, but we'll keep our eye on this one. Remember vehicle verification in Puerto Vallarta? How it came and people hated it, and then Governor Alfaro had to visit our city to explain its importance to the environment, but people hated it anyway. Then things got going, but the verification center was shut down because its temporary permit expired. Well, just so you know, vehicle verification is on again starting this coming week, according to Governor Alfaro. In a separate note, Mayor Michel confirmed this fact. So vehicle verification is back. We've explained how it works before. Just know that you need to verify your vehicle once a year, and your time has to do with the last digit in your license plate. If you need more information about this, write vehicle in your comment, and we will be glad to revisit this on Monday. Governor Alfaro has also announced that a new application is being developed to eliminate the decades-old quarrel between state and federal transportation providers. And this app will allow authorities to monitor where people contract the services, how many people board the vehicles, and so forth. And here, my friends, I'd like to offer a little context because you probably don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe you do and you haven't had it explained. For many, many, many years, local taxi drivers have been at odds with companies that provide transportation services. Say you're staying at the Sheraton Hotel and you book a private van to go with your family of 7 to San Sebastián del Oeste. And the van comes and picks you up. And if a taxi driver notices this, the taxi driver might say, well, what a bunch of fuckers. They should have hired me instead. And the taxi drivers will arbitrarily block the vehicle and prevent it from moving from its place. And then, of course, authorities have to come and a discussion ensues. And then eventually you are free to go wherever you want. So this is a very horrible thing that happens to a lot of our tourists on a regular basis because of the fact that local taxi drivers refuse to grow out of this notion that work is being taken away from them. So this application is hoping to alleviate or eliminate these problems. Let us hope that it is actually successful. It's not the first time that the government says, oh, we're going to have an application or an app for this or an app for that. I remember less than a year ago, they announced a new app for the yellow cabs in the city, and I wonder if anybody has ever heard of it or if anybody even used it. Moving right along, in a related note, taxis in Puerto Vallarta will now have a QR code attached to their units so you can obtain information about the vehicle when you're riding it, including the taxi network that it belongs to, the type of vehicle, its serial number, insurance number, license plates, and so forth. And this is all so that you can feel safe while you're boarding that taxi. And this makes me wonder if I'm ready to tell you the anecdote of the most disturbing taxi cab ride I have had ever since I moved to Puerto Vallarta, because it happened less than a week ago. I was at friend's house celebrating Gay Pride, and Logan and I hopped on a yellow cab to come home late at night. And I have to tell you, it was really the weirdest and most frightening taxi ride I've ever been in our city, because the driver was a bad driver. He didn't know how to use his stick shift, but that is nothing compared to the fact that sitting on the front seat next to him was this woman who was so close to being unconscious. I don't know. We didn't know if she was drugged or if she had been drinking or what, but she, her head just kept doing this, and she kept knocking her head against the side of the taxi. And Logan and I are sitting in the back seat because neither one of us noticed this, or at least I didn't notice this when I got on the cab. And Logan and I kept holding each other's hand and thinking, oh, fuck, we just want this to be over. So the taxi And the taxi driver kept saying, "Oh yeah, my mamita and I, we're gonna go and have a great meal together." Ha ha ha! And we were like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And this happened in our little lovely town of Puerto Vallarta. So nothing happened. I got home. I said to Logie, "Papi, please send me a message when you get home." And Logan did, but it was definitely one of those for the books. But enough about me, enough about that. Let us hope that with this new QR code, one is actually able to feel more secure. Because, I mean, at some point we could have easily said, dude, we don't like this. We want to, how much do we owe you? Just drop us off here. And we didn't. But it was weird. It was weird. It was definitely one for the anecdotes. Anyhow, let's move on to the weather because we have a few things that we want to talk about still. Oh, I just gave myself shivers thinking about that. If Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't say, "Well, hello there," at least once every episode, I am not going to be happy. That is so funny. And I even get that reference because I remember that's probably the first words that Obi-Wan Kenobi said on Star Wars was "hello there." Anyhow, it's 27 degrees, feels like 29. Our humidity is high. Oh, it's 75%. No wonder I'm feeling schwitzy. Between that and the coffee that I'm drinking, it is 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and our weather forecast for today says humid and partly cloudy with a high of 31 and a low of 22. Tomorrow, Sunday, humid and partly cloudy again a high of 31 and a low of 22. And on Monday, another humid day with a high of 31 and a low of 21. Not bad. Not bad. Well, expected anyhow. Moving right along, and speaking about weather, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Agatha. Agatha is our very first storm. The first storm of the season, the first tropical storm of the season, will bring heavy rain to the states of Chiapas, Oaxaca, and Tabasco, and Guerrero, and Veracruz. All of that is south of us, and here she is. So given the states I just mentioned, chances are that Agatha is just going to go in this general direction instead of going in this direction, which is where we are located. So there is Agatha just twirling, but we won't get to see it. We won't get to feel it, but eventually one will come our way. Let's see. Oh, yes, this is good news. Puerto Vallarta is among the top preferred vacation destination among nationals, according to Federal Tourism Secretary Miguel Torruco Marquez, who revealed statistics during the tourism tianguis that took place in Acapulco this week. The top spot is occupied by Cancun and all that seaweed, yummy. It's followed by Mexico City and then Acapulco and then Puerto Vallarta. So this is good to know. As we mentioned a couple of days ago, the Secretary of the Marines has announced a recreational 5-kilometer and 10-kilometer run that will take place tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. at the Municipal Stadium. So it's time to get your sneakers out if you want to run, or your camera out if you want to capture the excitement. And if you're planning on driving, it's best to find alternate routes. Alternate routes from what, you may ask? Of course, the news note does not include information about the race route or where you would sign up for the race, even if you wanted to. And that is top-notch journalism from Puerto Vallarta for you. Now, this next one has a little bit of explanation as well. Has to do with gay pride. Now, gay pride is a lot of things to a lot of people, or has become a lot of things to a lot of people. For some, it's an excuse to plaster your business with a rainbow flag, so in the hopes that you'll make more money. For others, it's an excuse to throw big parties to make more money. For others, it is a good opportunity to remember where we came from and where we're going. I mean, it is a huge enterprise, and we all choose to participate in pride at one level or another. This year, our dear friend Paul Chris from Hotel Mercurio published an item on his Facebook account a while ago. I'm going to read an excerpt from it because he said, "This year, I have decided to reject the commercialism and the focus on a narrow segment of our community and to focus on, let me start again. This year, I have decided to reject the commercialism and the focus on a narrow segment of our community with high disposable income, gym buffed bodies, and nonstop parties. We are more than that. Our parade float for Pride will be themed Trans Lives Matter. We will reject the use of the event to promote our Mercurio brand this year. The appropriation of Pride by business interests globally, not just in Vallarta, is just tedious and has cheapened the meaning of the event. It is time to send a message to our Pride organizers and to the world that Pride should be about celebrating and sharing our heritage and culture and continuing to fight for the rights, justice, and acceptance we deserve as human beings. Parties are fine. Parties make a lot of money for their organizers. Parties help us celebrate how far we've come as a community in achieving some of the rights we deserve. Members of our trans and drag community, however, are subjected to life-threatening violence and economic and social discrimination. And yet, they persist and persevere. They are our strongest heroes, and they are largely unsung. This is unacceptable. It is unacceptable when it comes from the society at large, and it is even more unacceptable when it comes from within our LGBTIQ plus community. So those are the words of our friend Paul Christ, owner of Hotel Mercurio. So he themed his parade float as with the legend Trans Lives Matter. He invited a bunch of members from the trans community to be on the float with him. Why am I telling you this? Well, because the organizers of Vallarta Pride bestow awards to the best floats of the parade, and I'm happy to say that Hotel Mercurio's float came in on second place, winning a cash prize of 10,000 pesos. In first place came the Batala San Pancho drumming band, and I saw a couple of videos of them, and they were absolutely fun to watch. And third place came for Anonimo Video Bar. But I'm particularly proud of my dear friend Paul, our dear friend Paul, for always standing up to things that matter. And I want to congratulate you, dear friend. You very much deserve it. And we may still have some news about Pride and other things that are going on in the region that you may want to know about. Yay. Last but not least, before we dive into your comments, this afternoon we're having our big Discover Guadalajara presentation. I am very gratified and grateful for all the people that have subscribed or have chosen to support Coffee and Headlines in the last few days. And in case you joined Coffee and Headlines as a member or as a supporter in the last 24 hours, this is what you want to do. You are going to see this link in our show notes. This is the article that says, here is the link to Discover Guadalajara tomorrow. So you're going to find a link on this item, on this post, that you click on and will take you to an invisible YouTube page, which is where we're going to broadcast. Now, it says here this post is for supporters only. So because you're already a supporter, all you have to do is log in, and you'll use the same credentials that you use to make your contribution through Coffee and Headlines, and you will be able to read this article and all the other content that we have made available exclusively for members and supporters. And that is something that I'm very much looking forward to. Be prepared because it's going to be long. So make sure you grab a comfortable cocktail or a comfortable chair and take a lot of notes, and we'll have a lot of fun today, 3 o'clock local time. And I see that Albert is already in the spirit. My cocktails are already chosen for this afternoon. That's great. I'm looking forward to it too. I see a lot of good mornings as always, even one from the sky. Elvin is on the plane on its way to Mexico. This is wonderful. Versalles people always make me smile because it's right around the corner. This is great. We already said happy birthday to Bob. Let's see what else we have. Question: any idea why the airfares are so high right now? Last week from San Diego was 900 and yesterday 600. Would probably go through Tijuana. It isn't this low? Well, I don't know anything about airfares, and I don't know if this is low season for anyone. Susie, sorry, it's not an area of expertise of mine. I suppose it has to do with supply and demand. And if prices are so high, that must be because a lot of people are coming. Let's see what else. Season, says Susan. When does season start again in November? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about specific dates when seasons begin or end. Let's see what else we have. I suppose this is about my account. Hear no evil, see no evil. Sure hope she was safe in the taxi afterwards. Again, Michael, it was an unexpected, highly irregular situation, but at least we were fine. Let's see what else. I see comments about Paul's words. It's definitely something that has shied me away from gay pride. I mean, I remember going to college in the United States, and gay pride was about lectures, it was about art exhibitions, it was about bazaars and opportunities to buy and sell and support the community. It was different. Then again, that was a different time. So what can I tell you? Let's see. That brings us to the end of your comments. Albert is going to be drinking raicilla and mezcal this afternoon. And Dale says 1,600 Canadian to Vancouver. Ouch. I don't know how much 1,600 Canadian is, but that is a lot of money. That's scary. Anyhow, this is what we have for today. I hope the rest of your weekend will be uneventful and will be fun. I hope you will stay cool and refreshed. If you are here in Puerto Vallarta, I'm still thinking of starting that nonprofit called Friends with Swimming Pools. No, that's just a joke. Anyhow, the week is over. I hope you have a great weekend. If you are going to join us this afternoon, I know that you're going to have a good time because we prepared a lot of photos, a lot of video, a lot of anecdotes, a lot of information that will hopefully inspire you to have a great time in Guadalajara should you go to visit in the near future. So stay kind, stay happy. I'll either see you today at 3 or I'll see you sometime in the near future. Have an awesome weekend.